Hi, it's the Tax Geek with more of your taxes oversimplified. Today we answer the question, am I self-employed? Now it seems like this question should be a no-brainer, and for most self-employed people it is. However, there are people out there who are self-employed who don't quite realize that they are. It goes like this. You do some casual, temporary work somewhere. You're paid by check with no taxes withheld. Then, come January, you get one of these. This is a Form 1099 NEC. NEC is short for Non-Employee Compensation. Anytime a business pays over $600 to any one individual, the business is required to issue this form. The business considers you to be an independent contractor. So, congratulations! You are now self-employed. Here is a brief overview of how a 1099 NEC affects your tax return. Deep dives into each of the calculations and forms will be in other episodes. Of course, you have to pay income tax on part or all of the money you are paid. You will also be responsible for self-employment tax on what you earned. But you will also be eligible for two tax deductions, an adjustment for self-employment tax and a qualified business income deduction. It takes up to 5 additional forms to report the income, additional taxes, and deductions. So let's see what happens to a tax return when a taxpayer receives a 1099 NEC. Meet Matt. He is singled and is employed full-time, making $45,000 a year. In the last year, however, he helped a friend with a display business build demonstration booths at 3 local trade shows. His friend paid him $400 each time. In January, his friend sends him a 1099 NEC for $1,200. Here is how Matt reports that income. First, he prepares a Schedule C for his business activity. As with all these forms, the actual mechanics of filling out the form will be left for another time. Simply put, a Schedule C lists all income and expenses from the business activity. The result is the net income from the activity. In this case, since all Matt did was travel locally to the sites, and he had no other out-of-pocket expenses related to his work, his net income is the same as his gross income. This figure is then entered on line 3 of Schedule 1, and from there it goes to line 8 on his Form 1040. The net income also goes to a Schedule SE, which is used to calculate his self-employment tax. 2 figures result from this schedule: the self-employment tax and 1/2 of the self-employment tax. The self-employment tax is then entered on line 4 of Schedule 2, and from there goes to line 23 of Matt's 1040. The 1/2 of the self-employment tax is then entered on line 14 of Part 2 of Schedule 1. This is actually an adjustment to Matt's income, lowering the amount of income subject to tax. From Schedule 1, this figure is entered on line 10A of Matt's 1040. Finally, we have to compute the qualified business income deduction. This allows for an additional tax deduction of approximately 20% of his net business income. This is computed on a Form 8995, and the result goes directly to Matt's 1040 on line 13. So what effect does all this have on Matt's taxes? Just for reference, his taxes before the additional $1,200 came to $3,718. First, we add the $1,200 in income, which adds $144 to his tax, which is now $3,862. The self-employment tax adds $170, bringing the total up to $4,032. The adjustment for 1/2 of his self-employment tax is $85, which reduces his tax by $12 to $4,020. And finally, his qualified business income deduction is $223, reducing his tax by $30 to $3,990. As a result, that additional $1,200 in income resulted in $272 in additional taxes, as well as the addition of 5 more forms to his tax return. And overall, it increased his effective tax rate from 8.2% to 8.6%. This is a very simple overview of the tax process for a self-employed person, but it applies to all people who are self-employed and report their business income directly on their personal income tax returns. All of the concepts in this video will be given detailed treatment in other videos. Links to these other videos will be given in the description below, as well as resources for additional information. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions for future videos, please leave them in the comment space below. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more of your taxes oversimplified.